field of swarf conveying and processing systems. System installed at Conçoit S.p.A. The main aim of this handling system is to de-oil aluminium swarf in order to remove the coolant from the chips, which will then be ready to undergo further recovering procedures according to regulations in force concerning industrial waste. In conformity with these regulations, the swarf can be recovered only if the residual content percentage is lower or equal to 2%. An essential condition to obtain an excellent de-oiling process is that the swarf must be short. To this purpose, the long aluminium swarf is carried by wheeled skips to a skip hoister, where it is lifted and overturned directly into a crusher, from which the material comes out crushed into short chips and are ready for the following centrifuging step. A hinged conveyor belt makes the swarf pass through a suspended bar end separator before sending it to the continuously working centrifuge. The de-oiled swarf is discharged onto a drag conveyor that feeds a storage bin. The coolant separated from the swarf is full of particles. In order to remove them, the liquid coming out of the centrifuge flows through a special outlet slide into a drag conveyor that feeds the particles back to the centrifuge in order to make them undergo another centrifuging step. System installed at OMB Saleri S.p.A. The system operates by conveying the swarf to the handling centre, composed of crusher, bar end separator and de-oiling centrifuge, by means of automatic conveying lines that are positioned underground in special pits with removable steel sheet covering, carriage able and pedestrian. The conveying lines collect the chips produced by several machine tools and convey them to the handling centre. The processed swarf is then carried to the storing bins. System installed at EVL, Torneria Automatica SRL. The handling system operates by means of a skip hoist that feeds a crusher, where the material is broken down into short chips and then carried by a conveyor to the centrifuge for the de-oiling process, after having been previously selected by a bar end separator. The dirty coolant is flown by a drag conveyor, while the cleaned liquid is collected into a horizontal underground tank, complete with winter heating system for the coolant. Material is stored in a container and the swarf is evenly distributed thanks to a distribution slide fixed to the head of the conveyor that feeds the container. System installed at Tornoplur M SRL. The system's aim is to handle and convey brass and stainless steel chips by two parallel systems. The swarf is discharged onto the underground conveyors by wheeled skips that are overturned by special tools fixed to the floor. The conveyors feed the centrifuges after previously making the swarf pass through bar end separators. The chips are conveyed to storing bins which have separated modules according to the type of stored material. Two drag conveyors discharged by the centrifuges and clean it from particles by using a magnetic separator, as well as a self-cleaning filter that offers a filtration level of 30 micron. The filtered coolant is then collected in a tank positioned on a supporting frame and equipped with a winter heating system in order to increase the liquid viscosity. And afterwards it's returned to several machine tools by an automatic refilling system. The de-oiled swarf, on the contrary, is lifted to storing bins by specific conveying lines. The scrap dealer's truck will collect the swarf directly from the bins. The swarf discharged is performed by opening, closing the discharge throats, which are equipped with sash doors operated by hydraulic cylinders. Aluminium swarf crushing in a Sweden scrap dealer's plant. The system is installed in an important scrap dealer's plant, Stena Company, in Eskilstuna, Sweden. The purpose of the system is to crush the stainless steel swarf into short chips and in this way reduce their volume. The swarf is collected in a large hopper and then sent by a mechanical loader to a crusher equipped with a hydraulic motor. The crushed swarf is then conveyed and piled up inside the site. Metal scrap conveyors. These are systems positioned under presses for conveying metal scraps produced in the automotive field. The scraps coming out from the presses are collected through large hoppers and discharged onto underground conveying lines equipped with special reinforced hinged belts suitable for intensive usage. The material is then carried to a collecting tank and evenly distributed inside it by a rotating slide. Arbeger Darent Group AB and Conveyors Ind.Ass develop projects and create special integrated solutions for any requirements. Feel free to contact us for a customized solution. Conveyors Ind.Ass SRL